Backdrop situation, still working on that, so bear with me. You guys did request a smoky eye, so with that, we'll just get right into it. Okay, first things first is, so my face is completely bare. I don't have anything on other than just, I washed my face this morning and used some toner and some moisturizer. Now I have very oily skin, so I use a moisturizer that has acne control. As you can see, I have some breakout situation from waxing. I don't normally wax my lip. I don't know why I tried. I know that it makes me break out, so I'm just not going to do that anymore. But makeup will fix all of this, so that's great. My hair's done already. First things first, we're going to clip it back because I don't want makeup in my hair. And then I'm going to clip up the other side too. Let's see, there's my kids. First things first, I'm going to use concealer. So I always start with a concealer on my eyes to give them a nice base. So this is by NARS. I love NARS. They're awesome. It is medium 1 custard. You can go with a lighter shade. I do have a lighter one that I do like, that I use sometimes. But for this, I'm going to use this particular one. It's a nice creamy base and it's great. So the brush that I'm going to use is by Sephora Pro. All the brushes I'm going to use today are by Sephora Pro. They're affordable. They work great. They are available at Sephora or online. I also like the Morphe brushes. I like a lot of other brushes, but today I'm going to be using the Sephora Pro collection. So this one is the Airbrush Concealer. It's number 57. And I'm just going to come in, take a little product, and go straight on my eyelid and into the corners all the way up to my brow bone. Sorry if you can hear my kid using her bubble popper. I will try to do some voiceovers and I'm going to do it to the other eye. I'm going to do both eyes today just so you can see what you do to one eye, you want to do to the other eye. So if I did one eye, it would be really hard and I blend kind of all the way through down here just to kind of blend any harsh edges. But if you do to one eye, you have to do it to the other, right? So if I did one eye, having to go back and do the other ones secondly, or I guess right after would be kind of difficult because we're going to use quite a few colors here and remembering exactly what I did, it would be kind of difficult. So, okay, done with that. So that's kind of just all the way up here, just like a light layer, just to give us a good base. Now we're going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's by Morphe, so they collaborated and made this awesome palette. I will show you. It's $38 at Ulta. They have every color you could possibly think of, and as you can see, mine is very well used. So obviously I love this palette. The first shade I'm going to go in with is going to be just a nice base, and I'm going to do kind of a shimmery base. It's this one here. It is called Beam. So I'm going to go in with that, and I just kind of circle around. This is a blending brush. So this is the Sephora Pro Airbrush Crease, and it's number 31. So it's just a nice kind of fluffy eyeshadow brush. It's rounded. It's great for creating that base. So I'm just going to kind of go in, circle around just a little bit, and then I'm just going to start in the corner because that's where we want most of our highlight. And I'm going to go all the way up to my brow bone. All the way up there. And all the way, just create a base over my whole eye. And we're going to do the same to the other side. Sometimes I need to pick up a little bit more product, and that's totally fine. And you guys, I always start with my eyes first because if you have any fallout, and fallout, if you don't know what that is, so I'm going to explain terms so that real people can understand them, because I hate tutorials where they don't explain what things are. Like when I first watched a tutorial, I was like, what's fallout? Like, I don't know what that is. So fallout is when, you know, your shadow gets all down here and yada, yada, yada. So if, like the excess shadow. So if I did my foundation and everything first, I wouldn't be able to wipe that away. That'd be really difficult. So I want to keep that complexion really clear. I'm just kind of, because I want this inner corner to be really bright, I'm just going to kind of really go over that and all the way up to the brow bone. It looks kind of silly now, I promise. It will all come out okay. Okay, so next we're going to go into what's called the transition color. So you always want a transition color in any, I think in, well, not, maybe not in any, there are no real rules in makeup. So don't think there are set guidelines, sure, but there are no real rules. So you can play and be creative and do whatever you want. The next shade I'm going to go into for my transition shade is this one. As you can see, I use that one a lot. It is called Silk Cream. So I'm just going to I'm going to use the same brush and just circle around and start in my outer corner, okay? And then I'm going to work in my crease, just in the crease area. I don't want to go all the way into the corner, and I'm just going to kind of blend that all up. Not quite up to the brow bone, but close. So this is definitely, I'm going to go over it again. So you always want to build your shadows. You don't want to pick up a ton of product and then have it fall out onto the areas that you don't want to cover. So this is going to go just into my crease and right below my brow bone and on the outer corners. See, that's warming that up really nicely. So I'm going to do it again on the other eye just to keep things. And eventually I might do a one eye thing and to speed things up because this is going to be a long video. But this way at least you can follow along while you're trying it at home. And I'm using a lot, and I promise I'll work on that, as I said in my previous video. So great transition shade here. This is one of my favorites. Okay, so now that we've got a nice transition shade here, I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to go in with, and we're to come back to this brush, so leave it out. Another thing I wanted to show you is this awesome thing by Sephora. So it is called the Sephora Mini Color Switch. I'll show you the actual, if I can get it out. That is the actual lid. So it's just kind of dirty. But this is what it is. And it is the coolest thing. It's this little mesh thing. And you can take your brushes, go like this, and it takes all of your product off. So you have a fairly clean, of course you want to clean your brushes often, but you have a fairly clean brush to use. So now I don't have any of that other product on for when I'm going to blend. So, but we're going to keep this brush out because we're going to need it. So the next brush that I am going to use is going to be the Sephora number 14. It's called Pro Shadow. Looks like this. Okay. And we're going to just come into, and we're going to use quite a few colors. So don't be scared. It's okay. We want to build. So we're going to go into this one that's right below the last one we just used. I know they don't look that different, but this one's a little bit darker. This one is called, it's called Pooter. Interesting. So we're just going to go in, take a little bit of product, not too much, just a couple swipes. And we're just going to start kind of out in the outer corners. For this look, I always like to start in the outer corner and work my way in. And I'm going to pick up some more product. And just kind of go like that. And we're going to keep this kind of in the crease and just on the lid right here. Okay. So that's already starting to darken up nicely. Again, over here. As you can see, I'm creating a little bit of, and I'm kind of circling around just to kind of blend. We're going to go back in with that blending brush. As you can see, I'm picking up more product as I see fit to get the desired look I want. See, it's already starting to come together. And a little more over here. Okay, so as you can see, that is not blended. So we're going to pick up that blending brush again, and I'm just going to go from my corner and blend out those harsh lines. You don't necessarily need to come into here because we've already placed that product there. And so we don't see, I'm getting some fallout here, but the face makeup will fix that. In your inner corner and just kind of up around those creases. And then you do a windshield wiper motion to blend that harsh line. And see, now we have it perfect. See the difference? This one's much blended. Maybe like, no. But yes, there's a difference. Now it's blended. This is not. So I'm going to bring that out and blend that area there. Okay, so now that we've got that going, we're going to go in with the same brush. So pick that brush back up, and we're going to go into, now we're going to get really into it. I'm going to do some warmer tones, warmer neutral tones. So I'm going to pick up this one. oh, you can't see. I'm going to pick up this one here. It's an awesome color. It looks very red, but it's not. It's not super red. And I like kind of a warmer neutral tone. You can do more of a neutral, a true neutral brown, and that's fine. But for my eye color, which is blue, they look kind of green. And sometimes they do look green. I feel like warmer tones really make my eyes pop. So that color is called, it's called Buns. That is nuts. Huh, funny. Yeah, it's called Buns. So Pooter and Buns. Okay. So this, I'm just going to kind of tap into this corner. And as we continue, we're going to get more towards that outer corner. I'm going to really get that kind of, I'm going to put a little on my lid here because we're going to do a smoky eye. So a little on the lids there and definitely out here. So same to the other side. Tap it in. I'm using tapping motions to my crease. Do not go above your crease, okay? Do not go above that. Because we're going to blend it up and it's going to take a little more product. Get that nice and smoky in there. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, not blended at all. And this is looking a little green with my lighting, so I'm going to play with my lighting a little bit. It's not green at all. It's actually quite, like if you look at the shade, it's not green. It just looks a little green right now. Okay, back in with our blending brush, right? Same scenario. We are going to blend just to that line, right? And then blend all around here. Just around those edges. See what I mean? How it brings it up a little bit? And that's totally great because we want a smoky eye today. And this is going to be more of a softer smoky eye. I'm not going to do a dramatic smoky eye because I feel like you guys are looking for a more practical application for kind of either you could do this for every day and then just not do the smoky eye underneath, and that's totally fine. But we're going to do a neutral smoky eye that you could wear really every day. Or if you're not much of a makeup wearer, you know, date nights, things like that. Going out with the girls. Okay, so far, I'm liking how this is coming together. I think I'm going to go in with that color again. And just add a little bit more. See, we can always add more. So, it's okay to be conservative at first. Okay. Go in with the other eye. I don't know if any of you have actually seen my bare face before. This is exciting. It's amazing what makeup can do. See? Makeup's fun. Say blend, 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 circular motions out, and then just bring that color in a little bit. And then again, blend our outer edges. Blend our outer edges and bring that color in a little bit. Okay, see that's coming together. Again, and then bring that color in a little bit. Windshield wiper. Okay, so that created us a nice base, right? Now we're going to go in with a different brush. So I'm going to clean off my brush with my little Sephora brush cleaner thing, my blending brush. Always do that. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. So this one is the Sephora Pro Small Shadow in number 15. It's smaller. It's going to help me just stay really close to my outer corners. So I'm going to go in with, let's see, with the shade just underneath that one. So I'm going to go in with, let's see, with this one. It looks darker on camera. It is not that dark, I promise. This one is called Chip. That's fun. But it's a warmer brown and it's dark. So we're going to start and just pat it close to the brow, or close to the lash line, and just really tight into the corners, okay? So just really tight, and you can kind of smudge it in, start the blending process a little earlier, okay? Don't go above that crease. We want to really keep it concentrated on the outer corner. Start at the lash line, work our way up, and I'm doing a tapping motion here because we're going to blend it with a different blending brush. Okay, so I'm liking how that looks. So I'm going to go in it with a different blending brush. This one is tapered, so you can't really see that angle. It's tapered a little bit, so it's going to fit right into my corners really well. This one is the Pro Blending number 27 by Sephora Pro. So I'm just going to go in and start at my corner and really just work it in. Not too far, because we don't want that darker color to muddy up our other stuff that we've already done. Get in that crease, but really just blend out the outer edges of this. And blend that out. And see, all this stuff is okay because it's going to go away once we put the rest of our face on. This is creating a nice smoky look up here. Bringing it in. Same with it. See, like the difference when you blend. Everyone, blend your makeup. Bring that in into the crease just a little bit, just to keep those harsh lines out. And blend that harsh line up here. We want to keep it really tight. And I'm definitely going to go back and do another layer because I want this to be a little bit more dramatic. So going back into that darker brown. Tapping again, and I like to really smudge this lash line here. But kind of creating like a triangle almost. And keeping it most concentrated on your outer corner. Because we're going to bring this all the way down here with shadow. So, keep it concentrated to your outer corners. And really smudge that lash line. Tapping. Okay. So see, it's all coming together, you guys. I know I keep saying that, but I surprise myself every day. And I'm always like, oh, that actually looks good. Okay. More blending. More blending. More blending. And then again, just to see that outer edge. And I need to clean my brush because did you see what happened? I brought way too much color out. So that's where this little guy is the greatest invention in the world. Well, maybe not in the world, but gonna clean my brush real quick. And you should really do that after not necessarily every color because the lighter colors aren't going to show as much as the darker ones. But see, now I'm going to blend that harsh line. That's much better. And you want to keep this nice and tight in here, so. And bring a little into my crease, because why not? Blend that out. Okay. And see, I feel like that looks pretty good. That's pretty neutral. We got some good stuff in here. We're going to come in here with some highlighter later. Looking in my actual mirror, so hang on. Because I'm using my phone as my mirror. I'm still working out, like I said, these technology kinks, but that's looking pretty good. So same thing on the other side. Keep it nice and tight in here. And again, I probably have too much product, so I'm going to wipe my brush off on my little thing. And the great thing about like buying Sephora products is that they're so affordable. And they work really well. So, and I can also do, like, if you guys are interested later doing like a drugstore tutorial, I have plenty of things that I use very inexpensive. I use drugstore mascara. I use drugstore lip stuff all the time just because I don't feel it's necessary to spend that much money, but I would do wear lashes every day. So, that makes a difference. And eventually I'll do these voiceovers so that you don't have to listen to me just ramble and it'll sound better. Okay, so nice and blended. And I feel like that looks pretty good. Okay, so everything, see how it transitions so nicely between this bright color and then that smoky outer eye. So we're going to keep it there. And then I am now, so now at this point, I am going to stop and I'm going to do my full face, and I'll let you watch that. It's just kind of my everyday look. It's nothing too exciting. It's super easy, but I'm not going to talk through this portion because I'm going to fast forward through it so that you can just see real quick what I do. Okay? seen what I've done with my face, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, since I have my highlighter palette open, is go in with this little small brush here. It is Sephora Pro number 18. It's called a shader. And I'm going to use this pinky color down here. It's called Moonstone. And this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit and Spice. It's sun dipped. It's the brown one, which is my favorite one personally. But I'm going to go in with Moonstone. It's like a pinky kind of color. And I'm just going to go in my corners here. And sometimes I go just a little bit up. Lid here. Like that transitions nicely. And then we're going to go up to our brow bone, okay? So just right under the brow bone. Right on top of the brow bone. Right under the brow, rather. And I haven't done my brows yet, so you'll see that too. I want you guys to see a full completed look, so. Okay, and I can kind of blend because we don't like harsh lines. I mean, sometimes it's fun like when you're doing dramatic makeup, which we can do one of those tutorials. And so see, just brightens up the eye, and sometimes I'll add a little bit more if I really want my makeup to pop. What's up here? See. And once everything's done, this blush is going to look much more toned down, and I'm going to match my blush to my lip color. It was something I was told you should always do. Again, there are no rules, but so it's kind of you do you. You do what looks best on you. I'm just going to blend this out a little bit more though, because I did just put some, and kind of come in with my brush a little bit more because I like to blend my highlighter in. I don't like any harsh lines at all. And just bring that down. Okay. So now we're going to go into the smoky eye, which we are going to use a shadow for. So back into our palette. And we're going to use all the same colors that we used before. And I'm going to use that same shader brush, but I'm going to clean it off. Because we don't... There's my other child. Told you I want to see my kids. So we're going to go in with, right now, actually, I'm going to start with this one. So this is an angled brush that you could use. I need to get like 40 of these, I swear. This is the number 22. It's called an angled liner. It's to line, it's basically for, you could use it for liquid eyeliner. I'm going to use it for shadow. Just to get really uptight close to my waterline. So I'm going to use that same dark color that we used last time, this one here, in Chip. So I'm going in and just kind of touching it. Just kind of touching it. And then I'm going to go right under my eye. And we're going to start way out here. I'm going to come in. I like to kind of go like this, just to blend it. We're going to blend with another brush too, and then we'll do the other eye. Get up nice and tight. And we're not going to use any liner underneath, you guys. It's all going to be shadow. Okay, so I've got that. And then I will just take my freshly cleaned, after our highlighter, and just smudge that out. Put all that out. Okay, and then we're going to go back in with the same color, right? So that same color, and just tap our brush in there. Just tap, like a couple times on the very tip of it. And we're going to start at the outer corner. And we're going to tap that in. We want most of our product on the outer eye here. And then we can bring it in here. And then we're just going to smudge. And don't be afraid. It's going to be okay. And guess what? If you fail, you can always wipe it off and try again. Time consuming, yes, but you know. We were already getting that nice smoky eye. And I'm going to do that again to the other side because I like to do things equally as I go. Just that out here. I'm gonna bring a little up in here too, just to blend it together. And we're gonna blend. So we're gonna really smudge this out. Okay. And see, that's probably looking a little harsh to you. So we're gonna go back in. And sometimes I like it darker, sometimes I don't, but this is like a kind of a neutral smoky eye. If I'm going more dramatic, my little one's playing with, oh, she's got paint all over herself. See, this is life with toddlers. I'm going to go in with that color that we used before. So we're just going to kind of go backwards. So we're going to go back in with this one here. And I'm just going to go underneath and work that color in because we want everything to blend and everything to kind of match, right? Well, that's looking pretty good. Go back in with that color on the other eye. Just kind of underneath and blend it all together. This is especially important when you're doing bright color with the smoky eye. You want to incorporate those colors down in here. And, you know, I like to get that line out of there. Line out of there. And then we're going to go back in with our transition color that we used before. Tap that. Go right underneath. See, it just creates a really nice blended look. See the difference? It's just a huge difference in my opinion. Go right underneath. And sometimes I'll have to go in and pop a little bit more color here. But we just have to be very careful because we've already done and blend it out with this brush. We've already done our face makeup. So, okay, that part is done. So as you can see, the shadow looks beautiful. Now I'm just going to quickly do the rest of, so that's the shadow portion. Okay. I'm going to quickly, so my palette's all done. I'm going to quickly go through my eyeliner, and so that's the shadow portion. I'll go through my eyeliner routine. I do like to use a, this is from the drugstore. It is Infallible. Is that, let's see, it's the Infallible gel liner, and it's a nude. And I like to just line my waterline because this is really going to make our eyes pop. It's going to make that smoky eye even more dramatic. And just line the waterline. And don't worry if you get it on your lashes. We haven't done our mascara yet, so it'll cover. Just kind of line them like that. See how it makes that really pop? That part. Now I'm going to go in with Kat Von D's ink liner. It's waterproof liquid eyeliner and it's in Trooper. It's basically black. I absolutely love this product. It is my favorite eyeliner of all time. I'm just going to go up above. And tip, never pull at your eyes because what happens is we have those natural wrinkles, and when you release, those wrinkles come back and it's so uneven. I think that's my child. So I'm going to start right in here. And really, I start off really small. We don't want a lot in here. Use the very tip to kind of bring that down. And then I like to thicken it up here. You can get a little more generous here, and then I bring it straight out. Oops, that's okay. A little cat eye. And then I do like to bring it in just to give it a good transition. And then we fill in that little triangle. This is going to be a less dramatic of a cat eye. Again. And this does take practice. It took me a lot of practice to get the eyeliner thing down, but especially with liquid when I had never used it before. But you really want to get it close to your lash line. I need a new one. This one's kind of running low, but... So really just creating... just a little mini cat eye, so nothing too crazy out there. Let me do the same to the other eye. Really close to the lash line. And straight out for that cat eye. I'd like to go back up. Again, that's a little too harsh for me here. So, see, we're getting somewhere, you guys. So now, I'm going to do some mascara. And I'm just going to fast forward through this, so it's just real quick. I use cheap mascara, you guys. L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes Waterproof. Okay, I do lashes, so. Sorry about the squeaky mouse noises that you're about to hear. It's my children, and it's in fast forward, so it sounds like the chipmunks. So bear with me. Okay, so this is the completed smoky eye with neutral tones. Look, I feel like, you know, like I said, I use lashes. You don't have to. Some people use, get eyelash extensions. For me, that's a little too pricey, and these lashes are literally life. They take some practice to put on. I used to do them with tweezers, or they have eyelash applicators that you can use to put your eyelashes on. But I think that this look is great, especially if you don't normally wear a lot of makeup. I mean, I wear lots of makeup usually, but that face routine you just saw is just kind of my daily go-to, and I even like sometimes like to blend in these harsh lines even after. But yeah, so I think this created a really nice smoky eye. You can even, if you want it more dramatic, you can really darken that up and come even down further and darken it up. I feel like this created a really nice neutral smoky eye that you guys requested. And when you gotta fix that eyelash, you know, eyelashes are one of those things. But I love my eyelashes. So this is the finished look. Tell me what y'all think, if this was helpful to you. I hope you try it out and show me pictures of your looks. If you have questions, feel free to ask me anything. I'm always around. I'm a stay-at-home mama, as you could probably tell by the chatter of my children. You say hi?
Hi.
There's one of them. So let me know what you guys think. This is my first tutorial, so bear with me while I figure out, you know, more of the kinks, and eventually I'm going to get one of those little voice things to put on my collar. I think it should be here tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and I think that this look was, I think it looks great. So I'm satisfied. Again, thanks for watching.